after Georgetown, the good, the bad, like some of the ugly?
Um, it's a learning lesson. I mean, you can't win every game, but for sure you're gonna try to. I know we have things that we need to work on. Working on some things in practice. With our prep. But it's a good lesson that we learn for sure.
How do you balance the highs of Purdue versus the lows of Georgetown, kind of finding the middle ground?
I mean, it's something that comes with the game of basketball. Highs and lows. Can't get too high, can't get too low, but just always got to stay motivated. I know I still think we're the best team in the country, so every team's gonna come out and give us their best shot, and we just got to be ready for it.
Those games, what are some areas of your game you think you really quick strides in, and what's something you think you still need some work on?
Um, Taking strides in value in possession. I know I'm a young player, so watching film with Coach Pope and Coach Hart, talking to them, just telling me, they like my scoring ability, my creativity, but just value possession as much as possible. That's really what I've been working on.
How do you think the team responded from the loss? Was practice a little bit harder? Were you guys a little bit more focused these last couple of days?
Yeah, definitely. Going into the season, we've all worked our whole lives to get to this point, and it's coming soon. So we're all trying to lock in and trying to do whatever we can to have the best record as possible, win every game that we can. But yeah, practice is always competitive, no matter win or loss. I feel like everybody's always even kill. But we all know the assignment.
And obviously, you've played at Rupp 2 times now, but how are you feeling now that this is the first official game and stats start to count now?
I'm feeling confident. Still feel the same. I know stats can only play so much into it, but only thing I'm worried about is getting the win.
I know there were 2 exhibitions, but just hearing your name called when you got to check into the game, playing in front of, I'm sure, a lot of family and friends, just what was that Rupp Arena experience like for you the first 2 times?
Yeah, it was great. It was exciting. I mean, I dreamed of that moment. Having my name called in the building and being able to play and showcase my talents, and I was really excited that I got to have the opportunity to do that.
Anything that surprised you, or like nerves pregame from the first 2 exhibitions, and things you can work on with that, or keep the same going into tomorrow night?
I mean, I don't really have nerves. I mean, it's basketball. I know, what's gonna happen every time I step on the floor. No matter who's watching me, I know I'm still gonna be Jasper at the end of the day.
You're growing yourself, but you got Malachi Braden doing the same alongside you. What strides have they made leading up to the first game?
They made great strides. I know we're the freshmen of the team, so we're all getting extra reps, all extra lifting sessions, trying to put on more weight, get stronger. But I feel like we've all, have made great strides in our preparation before the season starts.
How do you prepare for a game one like this, knowing there's not a whole bunch of film on Nichols? Like, what is the scouting and game planning part of this look like?
I mean, can't underestimate anybody. I know Nichols has a great team, great coaching staff, and I know they're coming in hungry, trying to, take us down. But, just can't overlook anybody. I mean, they have a few good players on their team that can, really hurt us in areas. So, just trying to do whatever we can to, be defensively focused and ready to go out and execute our game plan.
You've always been a guy that's had the ball in your hand, and although you're doing that a little bit now, how do you think you've adjusted to the off-ball movement, markup system, and improving in that regard?
I feel like I'm prepared for it. I mean, I've been playing on and off the ball my whole career. I know I'm a person who Coach Pope says has high gravity on the court on offense. So I know me making hard cuts and screening and getting my teammates open will also. I know we're an unselfish team, so the ball will come back to me whenever it's needed. But I'm just doing whatever I can to create opportunities for my teammates.
Speaking of being on the ball, obviously with DA out that last game, you and Colin were really the point guards in it. Some ups and downs. Talk a little bit about some of the things you like about being a point guard, and some of the things maybe you don't like about being a point guard.
I mean, I like everything about being a point guard. Being a leader on the court. Getting my teammates involved, getting my teammates open. Just trying to be that coach on the court. Just navigating my players and trusting them and them trusting me. Trying to build their confidence as we go. But I'm definitely still learning for sure. But I've been working, so I'm getting better.
You talked about that off-ball movement a second ago. We hear Coach Pope talk all the time about Kentucky cuts and moving and getting the offense in that flow.
Yeah.
I guess to you, what does that mean, and what is it like kind of functioning in that system, and what do Kentucky cuts mean to this year's team?
Kentucky cuts is something that Coach Pope is very high on. Cutting with great pace. it can create high value assist opportunities that we track in our offense. And it's something that, you don't have to have the ball in your hands to be able to score. And that's something I'm trying to learn and figure out as I'm going. Talking to, different scouts and different people and things like that, trying to see what I can do without the ball in my hands. And coming here is a way that I know I can help grow my game in that area.
Better, so I think for
Yeah, what's been the benefit of that? You got Mo, you got Malachi, Andrea. It seems like has really come along in the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just from the physicality perspective, what does that mean for you personally?
Oh yeah, just knowing I obviously played in the Big 12 before in the SEC, but just having those guys, in practice and stuff and helping us win, I just feel like it's helping us all. But just because I feel like we're gonna be more prepared, just because they're physical, great talent, so just preparing us for when we get to SEC play or when we play those tough teams and stuff.
Does it ever get out of hand? Like anybody have to be separate?
A couple times, but it's all out of love, and like I said, we're very competitive, so it happens, and I feel like that's a part of basketball, and it's what makes it fun. I'll say.
Have you ever been on a team like that before, where it's that competitive all the time?
Nah, probably not this competitive. It have been this year.
What's it been like playing with Mo in the actual exhibition games? You've gotten to go up against him, but you kind of played together, or it seems like at least starting together. Just what's the synergy that you all have in the front court together?
Yeah, just the physicality, and I feel like we both buy in on the defensive end, mainly. But Mo is a very great player, strong dude, as everybody can tell. But yeah, he go do the dirty work, and I feel like everybody loves players like that because he go get the loose balls, scrap for it, always have your back. So yeah.
Have you seen Ortega take on more of a leadership role going into this season?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, after the Saturday practice, Coach gave him his kudos and stuff just because he been every single day. He been, leading us, being more vocal because it wasn't like he was vocal last year, but not as in a bigger leadership role as he is in this year. But Coach gave his kudos and let everybody know in front of the team. So I feel like he been doing a great job on that.
We don't really talk about him too much, it feels like, even though he's SEC preseason player of the year. He missed a bunch of time off during the summer. How have you seen him kind of acclimate himself back into practice since returning, and does he look like the same old Ortega?
Yeah. I feel like he does. He missed a lot of time in the summer, and he was always trying to get on the court, but they had to stop him and stuff. But once he came back, it was just regular Ortega. He was in shape. Even though I thought he wasn't gonna be in shape, but he came back doing the old stuff he do, and I was like, that's impressive. So yeah, it's like he's still growing. He been here every night getting shots up and stuff. So yeah.
Brandon, how do you think the team responded to the loss on Thursday? What was practice like maybe Friday, Saturday, and see any differences from the coaches?
I feel like everybody was just shocked just because we came out with that big time win, but that's just proving everybody gonna give us their best shot. So, but like I said, practice and film, we got a little chewed out and stuff obviously, but practice was normal. We worked on the stuff that we that we watched in film that we needed to work on, but other than that, I feel like we washed that film away, and focus on Nicholas State.
Then obviously, it gets real tomorrow night. I'm sure you're a little bit more confident, a little bit more used to this now than you maybe were last year. Talk a little bit about the differences heading into your first game at Kentucky compared to last year.
Yeah, I feel like nothing, changed much, just more of a leadership role, and just going out there more focused than ever, trying to help my brothers get this big time, season opener win in Rupp.
You talked about leadership a couple of times. Last year you had, 7 seniors or whatever was on the team. What's the difference been, and how have you stepped up, and who else has really stepped up to lead the team?
Yeah, like I gave Ortega his kudos, because I feel like last year he was a leader, but he was, kind of quiet, and just go out there and kill and do what he do. But I feel like he really been leading us this year, just on and off the court, just his behavior, how he talks to us and stuff, and helping the younger guys and the guys behind him and stuff. So I give him his kudos.
But you're still a young buck yourself.
Yeah.
You decided to take a little more of a, especially with Jaden not being able to play, have you taken a little more of a role?
Oh yeah, for sure. That was big talks with Coach this offseason. Just him telling me I gotta be in a more leadership role just because I've been here. And I'm a returning player, but I feel like I've been doing great as it. You know, talking more than I ever talked. You know, I feel like Coach been helping me with that, and you know, the guys is buying in and listening to me.
What have you been telling maybe the young guys, Jasper, some other guys, ahead of their first big college game?
Yeah, you know, just go out there, you know, do what they do. Talented people. Things go happen, but you know, just look to us and turn to us. As Coach always tell us, but you know, just go out there, don't overthink nothing, and just play his game.
Sorry if I've been asked this before, but obviously it's not